because I think the hardest thing is just finding time to play all these games. But
I found a way somehow.
Somehow you found a way.
Yeah.
On top of all the different gacha games as well.
Because 7 Rebirth, I think I spent like 50, 60 hours on. Something like that.
I heard it was a really, really long game.
Yeah, well, because they added so much what is it, cinematics?
Yeah.
So like all the cutscenes. So like, goddamn, some of these cutscenes are fucking long. Even in Metaphor as well. Like the opening cutscene is like, yeah, there you go, 47 hours.
Oh my god.
Because like even Metaphor, the opening cutscene is like 45 minutes. So
I
loved it.
I love short games. I love a 4-hour banger.
I mean, I do too, but you know, I put 90 hours in Metaphor and that was a great 90 hours spent. I will say that.
Well, it's crazy because sometimes I'll walk away and you know how like your memory and like capacity for things, I'll feel the same way about some long games that I will have about like 2-hour experience games. It's so weird. It's like in my head. So I'm like, why can't my memory distinguish any of those feelings as like long or short?
Right.
Whereas I'll be like, no, I just liked that thing.
Yeah.
And that's all I'll feel.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, why do I?
Well, so I feel
It depends how much you get into it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Some games, like, you know, some games you can truly get into, immerse yourself in the story and world. And some games are just really like quick but still powerful experiences.
Yeah.
And you know, both are great. Both are great types of games.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do like the short, quick indie games as well.
Oh yeah, no, dude. Like you know, the Metaphor for me personally will be a game I'll probably remember for a while, just because you know it was long and you know because it's so story and character intensive that I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I mean, it looks cool. I do want to play it.
Oh, it's
just
beautiful.
long.
Yeah,
Too long.
it is long. But you know, I had a really, really profound experience playing it. It was a great game. But at the same time, you know, fucking Super Mario RPG, 4.5 hour game, just as memorable.
Super Mario RPG?
Yeah.
That's like 12 hours.
No.
Yeah.
12 hours?
Super Mario RPG, the remake, the Square Enix
The
one?
remake, yeah.
Yeah, it's like 10 hours.
I finished it in like 5.
What?
Yeah.
No. That's like, no, you don't know.
But I've played the original, so I knew what to do.
I think it's, no
I
way
definitely did not take 12 hours to finish that game. I literally spent maybe 5-6 hours. Did I accidentally speedrun that game?
It took me, I was going pretty fast and it took me like 12.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's because, like, I knew
That was a fun. I love fun.
that was a fantastic
I had a great
remake.
time
Yeah.
with this because I was like,
that's a short game and it's
there
great.
was.
There you go.
You're like close to speedrun.
No, it's like 3 hours.
That's the old one.
That's
You would be in the top 100 speedrunners, Joey. I don't believe you.
I definitely did not spend 12 hours though.
So you finish it in a single day?
Oh, I
Like a
finished it
working
in a day.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
easily. I finished it in like,
You're like close to the top.
I literally finished that in like an afternoon. And I was like, I was like, damn, was this game always this short? But no, dude, but even though short ass game, fucking fantastic, you know?
Yeah.
Literally
Yeah.
a tenth of the length of, you know, Metaphor.
I really enjoyed that.
It was a great game.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just about like how much of it, you know, is it's one, how much you get into it, and two, how much the game allows you to immerse yourself into it, I think.
How long did it take you to beat Metaphor compared to the other Persona games?
Well, Metaphor I took 90 hours. Persona like 3 Reload, for example, because I've already played the original 3,
Yeah.
so I kind of knew the story beats, even though they changed a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But 3 Reload, I think I spent 60 hours.
Okay.
Persona 5, I spent about 110.
I do think, now playing other JRPGs and playing other games, I do think maybe like the Persona games and maybe Metaphor, I don't know what the story is like. I think it's maybe just a tad bit too long.
Really?
Yeah. I really felt it during Persona 3 Reload with someone like, you know, you get to this point where I think, you get to this point in Persona 3 where you're like, okay, I feel like I'm getting close to endgame. And then they add like 2-3 extra dungeons and you're like, fuck.
Oh, Metaphor does that for sure. There's like a, I think I was like 60 hours in and I'm just like, oh fuck. I think this is about to be it. I was fucking grinding a little bit. I'm like, I'll grind just in case.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the last one because I don't know how leveled I am. So I spent a little bit of time grinding and I got to it and then they were like, just kidding. There's another 30 hours to go. Like, cool.
Yeah, because I also felt that did you feel that during Elden Ring at all? Where
There was definitely points where I had to grind.
Yeah,
because I would get to certain areas because it's also non-linear, so you actually don't know if you're just under-leveled or if you're on the right path. But there is no right path, so I guess it's kind of like, because then I would grind and then I would, like, I missed the area behind the start. Like, you know when you go out to fight if you like turn...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I totally missed that.
Right.
And so when I went back, it was like Saitama turning out. It was just like, I was one-shotting everyone.
It was definitely easy mode.
So it was kind of like, I did grind because I wanted to do certain things, and then maybe I was over-leveled to some things, under-leveled for other stuff. It was never like quite a balance.
Yeah, because like to me with Elden Ring, I felt like it was like pretty good progression up to like a certain point where I was like, okay, I must be pretty close to the end game. I'm in the end game area. And then suddenly they just add a whole new fucking area out of nowhere.
Which area are you talking about?
Snow area.
Oh yeah, the snow area.
And then it's like
that was, I think, one of the weakest areas.
It felt to me like I was satisfied with the experience I got. Then I'm like, okay, we're gonna add a whole new other area, but it didn't feel as polished as the
it's kind of
previous.
barren.
Yeah.
And
like they just tacked it on at the end.
Yeah.
But I really like the idea of like a snow place that's like constantly blizzarding. You can't really see. I like that idea, but it did feel kind of like
to me, like the 40 to 60 hour range is just like that golden point, and anything above that, I feel like for most of the games I play, I realize I think I'm just playing it just to complete it rather than I'm as invested in it.
Right.
Yeah, most of the Final Fantasies that I've played have been 30 to 40, and I feel like that's a pretty good sweet spot because like you can really get like sink your teeth into it, but it never overstays.
Yeah.
That's why I had such a profound experience, I think, with like 13 Sentinels, because that was like a 30-hour game, and I was like, I feel like if it went any longer than this, I would have gotten a little bit tired, especially with a plot that convoluted. I'm like, with a plot that convoluted, and if it was like 90 hours, I think I would have just like had ego death. Like I would have just died on the spot. Like I can't.
It's like I can't even remember the plot of.
Yeah, I can barely like make heads or tails of like what the fuck is happening. Let alone it's like 3 times the length.
Trying to keep up with the different plot progressions of that, I'm just like, if I don't finish this in like one sitting or like a few sittings, I'm going to forget everything.
I literally finished that game in 3 days. Because every day I woke up and I'm like, if I don't immediately continue playing this the next day, I'm going to forget everything.
Yeah.
But it was great. Loved it.
You gonna play Earthtree?
I will eventually.
Eventually?
There's so many games I want to play, man. It's a problem. It's a problem.
Sure.
And I'm trying
What
to
are the other
schedules.
categories, actually? I'm kind of curious.
Too many games to play and yet you choose League. You know?
Yeah, right.
You know, it's like a kind of weird, horrible thing where you can't get into some games because they're too long, but League of Legends is truly the longest game of all time.
Yeah.
But the trick of it is that you can pick it up for 30 minutes and be done completely, right? But it's never 30 minutes. But you know, you could have a 40-minute experience be done. And so I think that's a very tempting thing nowadays.
To me, there's so many games I want to play, but sometimes you just want that comfort game.
Yeah.
I think I was addicted to Elden Ring at the time because during my free time, when I just didn't know what to do, I could be like, I could just boot up Elden Ring for a bit. But I don't know. Sometimes it takes me like such a long time to get to that point in a game where I'm like invested into it. Sometimes it can take like 3-4 hours before I like truly start getting into like the gameplay loop and getting like addicted to the game.
No, I get that, because I was like that with Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Like I think I tried that game like 3 or 4 times, and every single time I'm just like, man, I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not really into this game. And then one time I was just like, after I think the 4th or 5th attempt, I was like, okay, I think I finally get it now. I don't know why I didn't give up on this game. I was like, no, surely this is a game I'll enjoy.
Yeah.
But just for some reason, it just wasn't clicking.
It happens.
For whatever reason. And then the 4th or 5th time, randomly, my brain was like, I get it now. I understand.
You conditioned yourself into it.
Yeah.